I'm very curious to get John's take on this because the box office is here. These numbers are up.
Yeah.
Lilo and Stitch does it again. 32 million this time around. 772 million already worldwide. This movie's going to make $1 billion.
Totally.
772. It is the movie that kids can go and see right now. I can tell you right now, my little one finally caught the original after months and months and months of trying to get her to watch it. My oldest bribed her with making popcorn, got her to watch it. She loved this. So now she wants to see she always wanted to see the live action, but now she wants to see it even more.
Right.
Mission Impossible. I'm skipping Ballerina for a reason. Mission Impossible. 450 million thus far, bringing in 15 million this week. Karate Kid Legends with 8.7 for 74 million worldwide.
Totally.
Final Destination 6.5 million, 257 million on a $3 budget. And this is the number. John Wick, Ballerina, 51 million on about, I think, like a $80-90 million budget.
Yeah.
So, John, if you're considering all these problems that John Wick had, Ballerina had, and considering, that people thought it was going to be a poop fest, and for the most part, you saw it, right?
I did. Yeah, I did my review. It's up on the channel. Yeah.
It's fine.
Oh yeah, it's perfectly fine. Not great, not amazing. It's fine.
That's fine. It does. There's some moments. I think she does great in it. It's a good length overall. And it's something like I actually was the first time I'd done this in a long time. I actually scored the movie 2 different ways. I scored it as like an overall film, and I scored it as an action film that you go to see in the theater. As an action film that you go to see in the theater, you just want to kind of shove popcorn into your face. I said like 3.2 out of 5. Said as a movie, as an overall story with character development, 2.7, 2.8. But it depends on what you're going to see the movie for. But it seems like the people who wanted to see it saw it.
Yes.
And it will at least make its production budget back, it seems like, after week 2.
At 80, yeah.
Is this a movie a big disappointment overall?
I would think so, even with all the stuff behind the scenes. Look, if you're going to call Thunderbolts a flop, this might be in contention possibly to be a flop if it doesn't do 2.5 times or whatever deal they've worked out. That is the standard, but it's not always the case with every film. It all depends on what deals have been worked out with the theaters and the subsequent studios. But I think they were hoping for a much bigger return because there's no reason they would put John Wick in the movie if they didn't expect the movie to do well, and they wanted the movie to do well. But in the end, I don't think it's going to do that much. I think it's going to drop precipitously next week. Even the positive buzz, the positive word of mouth, just look no farther than Thunderbolts to see how that can be irrelevant when people aren't that interested in the movie. And it seems like they're not that interested in the movie. It's irregardless of, I don't think most normal people or most of the regulars, as you might say, the casuals, give a fuck that it's Len Weissman or Chad Stahelski who directed the movie. I don't think they care at all.
I think they do, but they don't
care. They care about her, in the role.
But I think that they do care, John. But I think that they care, but they don't realize that they care. Okay, it is great to have Turtle Beach back, and I've been talking about Turtle Beach. You guys have been raving about Turtle Beach, and why wouldn't you? The Stealth 700 headset that I got, it was so great. It just stood out to me. It was the sound, man. Like just playing that Indiana Jones game, as I've told you guys, you could just hear every little thing. I love it. And it locks me in. It's better than the other previous headsets I've had. I don't like being aware that there's other things going on around me. I like being locked into it and hearing every bit of the sound design and just comfortability, to be honest with you. I could wear them for hours. I did. It's almost like they're so comfortable in my head. I was like, oh, I didn't realize I have these things on. I love how precise the audio is. I just feel like I'm so locked into the game when I'm doing it. And it's like that feeling I get when I'm in the theater. I'm just in the world because of the sound. I love sound. You guys know that. The other thing that's great about it is the 80-hour battery. That's crazy. I mean, you don't even feel like you ever have to even charge it. The worst is you're playing something and then it just craps out on you. And you're like, oh, no. The Stealth 700, it has the industry's first ever cross-play dual wireless transmitter system. What it means is that you can seamlessly switch between your consoles and your PC with just a click of the button. It gets even better. While being connected to your console, the Stealth 700 can connect with your phone for music streaming or taking calls at the same time. Listen to your favorite songs while gaming, and it's all done with the Stealth 700. And this is the easy part. You head to turtlebeach.com, use that code Kristian for 10% off your entire order. 10% off at turtlebeach.com with the promo code Kristian. But you're going to purchase it, and then they're going to say, hey, where'd you hear about us? You say, our show. You support our show, you tell them that we sent you, and get the ultimate immersive gaming experience with Turtle Beach today.
Really? You think casuals are aware of who's directed the movie?
No, I don't think that they're aware of it. I think that they're subconsciously aware of it. I think that when you see the movie, you're like, it wasn't as good as the other ones. I wonder why that is. It's because Len Weissman directed it. That's why. You
mean the people went to see it? That's different. Yeah. But I think the casual
that adds to word of mouth. But that
fair point.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so if you went and you saw it and you didn't know, if you're not paying attention to the director, you're not paying attention to these things, and you go, it wasn't as good as the other ones. I don't know.
But it got an A- in the cinema score, which means people have positive word of mouth. Yeah. So I just think people were that interested, and I don't think Ana de Armas is Keanu Reeves in any way, shape, or form in terms of popularity and fame and all of that. And so, I think maybe it would have helped if they had said from the director of John Wick. Maybe I think people know who Chad Stahelski is.
He didn't direct it.
Right, he didn't. That's what I'm saying. So I think if they had Stahelski direct it, this might have done a better job overall.
He should have directed it. He should have directed.
He did, but not officially.
Right. They also should have gone back. So I just put up the reaction to John Wick because Tina had never seen them before. I didn't realize she had never seen them. So we put up the first one. If you watch the first one, you realize that there's so much more to the movie in general than just him killing because of the dog. There's a lot to it with his wife and all that, and it's a smaller story, and it's not as video gamey. Mm-hmm. It earns the video gamey as the installments go further.
Yes, right. Especially the last one. Yeah.
This one just inherits the video gamey thing of it, right? And it's like, and you got to let us build, because all of the characters that you're attached to in this movie, are characters that we got established to in the John Wick franchise before she came around, like Winston and Angelica Houston. Yeah, there's nobody. I'll tell David Castaneda, I thought was pretty good. In the beginning.
I thought he was good. I thought the script and the scenes that were shot did him no favors, but I thought he was good.
He was good. I wanted to see him do more.
I like David. Yeah,
I like him a lot. And I wish that they would again develop that instead of it's John Wick. Look at all the crazy action. Come on, Len Wiseman, shoot the crazy action. And it's like, no, there's more to it. There's setting up that world, setting up those characters, and I think that that's why audiences didn't respond as much. But like you said, it got a decent score overall. But I think it's gone after this. It's got one more week to make up its production budget. But then it's toast because it's. I mean, How to Train Your Dragon, by the way, is coming. You gonna see that tonight?
No, I'm skipping out on that. It's a little far. It's like 45 minutes away from that, so I'm not going to do that. Yeah, it's not an area of town I'm not a fan of either. So
yeah, I get it. Well, so that movie is going to annihilate.
I don't know, man.
You don't think so?
I'm telling you this, the reviews have not been kind.
No, huh?
A lot of them have been. I read the Raps review just this morning. I've seen a few of these. Just
What did it say?
It's a disappointing opportunity and an unnecessary live action remake.
Wow.
That's been a lot of the reviews I've seen. There have been some positive ones, like my friend Maggie Lovett at Collider. She really liked it. But other people, I've seen a lot of other reviews saying that this was not necessary. It's literally the same movie, beat by beat, kind of like Lion King. And you go, well, Lion King made 1.6 billion.
Right.
That's a different thing, I think. So
you think it is?
Yeah, I do. I think it's a different situation.
Like I said to you, though, John
Favreau was directing that one.
Yeah, but don't count out the power of the kids. Like,
possibly.
They're really. I mean, like, there's two things here. There's one, if the reviews are so bad that families are like, we'll go see Lilo and Stitch again.
Yeah,
school is out in a lot of places.
You're right. It is.
School is about to be out here, in New York soon.
Yeah,
and there's going to be some families that want to get at it, and especially in the heat, they want to go into the air conditioning. What do we go see? Well, there's the live action How to Train Your Dragon. Remember, the Mario Brothers reviews were not good.
That's true, but I mean that's an untouchable franchise, and it's animated, so people knew like it wasn't that much of a jump from video game to animation. But
still, I'm telling you, the power of the kids, man.
You might be right, dude. You might be right. I just looked at those reviews and I'm like, I don't know, this might be trouble, but maybe not.
I think it's regardless. It's going. I think opening weekend it's going to do well.
Right.
Opening weekend is going to do well. The question is, can it sustain? and it's a very different audience with Ballerina, but there's just too many things that are getting picked on here because you get, and next week you've got 28 years later.
Yeah.
There's another one. What's the other one that's coming out?
Isn't Elio next week?
Elio's next week too. Now, Elio, I think Elio's gonna eat it.
I don't know, man. Maybe people thought Elemental was going to eat it, and it legged out a $500 million worldwide box office. So I don't know how to feel about Elio, because I mean, we're in this run right now, like you mentioned, Lilo and Stitch, How to Train Your Dragon, then Elio. You said the kids are out of school. This is the time you want to drop this stuff. So who knows if there's something here that people will like? But I don't know. You're right. It's a very
IP. I think IP defeats original. Unfortunately,
no, that's fair. That's fair. Even though people clamor for original stuff all the time, it's IP that usually
IP. And as people were mentioning, How to Train Your Dragon's got like 83% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's not too shabby. So there is, if Elio is fantastic, it reminds me of Luca, though. I know Luca only came out on streaming. I know. I love
Luca.
Yeah. I like Luca also, but nobody talks about that movie.
No, I know. Or Onward. Nobody talks about either.
Onward. No one. I like that. It's another cute movie.
Yeah.
Lost in the shuffle, and I
all
feel like Elio
films lost, man.
Yeah, I feel like Elio would be lost in the shuffle.
Yeah, maybe.
I think so, and I just think that especially it's going to be week 2. You see, you and I think have different points of view of How to Train Your Dragon. I think it's going to be a big movie, and I think that week 2 is going to be big, and I think week 2 of How to Train Your Dragon is going to kick Elio in the nuts.
Right. Well, you look at, like, someone's saying 83%. Now that's the blind way to look at this, right? Because when you look at the critics at UPI, RogerEbert.com, Time Out, Slant Magazine, these are well-known critics and well-known magazines, and they're giving it a negative, right? Our friend Dan Murrell give it a positive. He said a fantastic movie for the entire family, solid, entertaining, summer movie making. Variety liked it, but Daily Telegraph, Independent, these are some big locations that are not liking the movie. Now, as I said, there are other people who are in here who are way less, have way less of a following and attention, who are liking the movie. But
what does that mean?
I don't know. Will it balance out? Is all I'm saying. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just for me. I wonder, because I feel, has Bibiani seen it yet?
I don't see his review here.
He's going to hate it.
Man, I don't know with Bibbs. I never know with Bibbs.
He's going to hate it because it's probably going to be the shot-for-shot remake, right?
It is.
And I tend to line up with Merle over Bibbs when it comes to takes in movies, right? And I wonder if a lot of critics are going to say, well, it's just a shot-for-shot remake. There's no soul to it.
Yeah.
Which very well might be true.
But
I feel like, is that just the script, in their heads that they're supposed to say now? Like, what else? Why do we do that? There's nothing there. There's no reason to do it. And it's like the same old tired argument that you get. Like, I like the Beauty and the Beast remake. I liked it. I didn't mind it.
Right.
I didn't mind it. I did think that the Lion King movie was an achievement, but I think it was soulless. I think that's fair to say. But again, it was soulless. But I still feel like I understand why it did as well as it did. The first Train Your Dragon, someone said, didn't come out 15 years ago. It came out exactly 15 years ago, 2010, when the movie came out, which is crazy that was that long ago.
Right.
That's another one that we just did Tina had never seen that. We just did a reaction to that. That'll come out on Wednesday, I think.
I think Rotten Tomatoes should be split into 3 sections, like all critics, top critics score, because you've got the columns. You can go top critics and read the top critics, but I think the score should be 3 separate scores: all critics, top critics, and then audience score. That's the way it should be, because how you grew up was you read the big critics, so you understood how to analyze film and how to look at film. And so if you go to the top critics, what's the top critics score?
Right.
Let me take a look at that. I think that's the way it should be split up, because
I don't hate that idea.
Lumping them in with people like IndieWire, the guy at IndieWire, David Ehrlich at IndieWire. Like, I'm not looking at some small YouTuber with 2,000 views and saying his criticism is the same as David Ehrlich. So I think that needs to be delineated. People complain about Rotten Tomatoes all the time, but
I don't hate that idea. But I still think no matter how many times you explain it, people don't really know how Rotten Tomatoes works, right?
It's so true. They just want to yell at it. Yeah.
Nope. Well, but it's also, you say like, well, look at that. It's like, because this is true also, but normally it means the movie's good, but it could mean this. And that means 96% of people, let's say a movie gets 96%, right? Yeah. Let's say those 96% of those people thought the movie was just okay, but good enough to give a fair score. Let's
Right,
say
yeah.
96% of those people
3.5
all gave it
yeah.
a 3.1
3.1
out of 5, which is an average movie.
Yeah, yeah.
It would rank as a 96%, and
Yes.
everyone would think it was awesome.
Yeah,
Even if all 96% of them thought it was fine, a
yeah,
fresh movie, but nothing special. Now, the chances of that are usually slim,
yeah,
but I'm just saying mathematically,
yeah.
that's how that works. So even if every single person saw a movie and said, it's fine, but I just can't give it a fresh score. It's like a 2.8 or 2.9, and 45 out of 45 critics give it a 2.9. It gets a 0%.
Yeah, it would be a spoil.
Right. So it's a very flawed system.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It is.
Yeah,
Well,
and most people aren't going to do the work because I do think the system is set up that if you're willing to do the work, you can. All these reviews are linked, so if you really want to read full reviews, it's just 2 clicks away of whatever your favorite film reviewer is. But most people just want to look at a number. As we saw people commenting in the chat, they didn't delineate that. They didn't analyze that number. They just go, "It says 83%, so you're wrong." And it's like, no, you got to look at everything. Who is saying? There's only 46 critics, by the way. And the top critics, if you look at the top critics column, it's about even split between rotten and fresh. So
couldn't the same argument be made that if it, like you said, there's only 46 critics,
yeah,
say 40 more critics give it 3.5 out of 5, then it's going to have a very high score.
it's true. It's true. Yeah.
So you can argue either side of it, but
yeah.
either way, what do you guys make of all of this? The box office, How to Train Your Dragon, how it's going to do? Put your thoughts in there. Let me know.